This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast, Thursday, June 1st. Welcome to June. Hot here in the Quinte region of Ontario.
Certainly is. Kicks off Pride Month today, too.
Yes, it does.
National Indigenous History Month as well. And it is Seniors Month.
Is it really?
It is. So a lot to celebrate in June. Lots.
Come on up here for the weekend, everybody. We got a lot going on. Alex is going to be on the show tomorrow from Shannonville Raceway. They got a SMP Cup going on this weekend.
Sure do.
Which is, normally it's bikes, this is vehicles.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell you about one pickup truck that's going to zip around the track. It's going to race like Camaros, a pickup truck. And he says, this truck wins.
Yeah.
You don't believe us? Come on up to Shannonville and everything we got going on, which includes bocce golf is going on this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Mel Howard was on the show to talk about the golf tournament
for her brother,
raising some money for Canadian mental health charities in our area, and on and on and on. From garage sales, come buy our junk, all that good stuff. You'll love it. Going on this weekend here in the Quinte region. More about that tomorrow. Okay.
Yes. Today, we talked about the wedding songs.
Yeah.
We talked about... But what we were guessing the year. You gave us your wedding song title, what song you danced to as a married couple for the very first time.
Very first time.
And we would guess the year you were married in. I would say not too bad.
Not too bad.
We
First of
didn't do
all,
too bad.
the sheer volume, we got over 500 of them, so
it was incredible.
we need to hire a larger staff to answer all of them.
Yes,
The
unfortunately,
morning show
I
staff
wasn't
unavailable.
able to answer all of them,
Right.
and I apologize if I missed
Try
yours.
harder next time, Charity.
I know, I'm so sorry. But the ones we did answer, again, not too bad. We even got one right. And that, to me, right there, win. We win. We win.
As soon as we get one right,
Yes.
we just stop counting.
Yeah, that's when the effort stopped.
Got it.
And I didn't do it anymore.
Anne Marie's Could I Have This Dance? We
Yes.
said 1982. It was 1982.
For Helen, yes. Helen wrote that in. She was not the only one who had that as their wedding song.
Congratulations.
But yes, for Helen, it was 1982.
The number of people that duplicate songs. Now, when you get 500 entries, you're going to get duplications. You know, What a Wonderful World from Louis
It was
Armstrong.
one that was mentioned a lot.
That is so good. And I applaud you for that being the dad song. That
was
really,
my
really good.
dad-daughter song.
Because I think Butterfly Kisses has really run its course.
Bleh.
That nauseating?
It's a you know what? That song does make me tear up. I'm not going
Right.
to say it isn't a good song.
Yeah.
But that would be too much. As I said yesterday, I wanted a song that meant something to me about my dad, that reminded me of my dad.
Right, okay.
That really meant something to me when it comes to my dad. And What a Wonderful World does. Butterfly Kisses, although it is about a dad and daughter, and seeing his daughter grow up and being there on her wedding day, as wonderful as that is and how much that would reflect the actual day, means diddly to me.
Right. Yeah, there's no
It does
emotional-
not remind me of my dad
Right.
at all. There's not that connection to it.
To be clear, Butterfly Kisses is the Christmas shoes of wedding songs. That's what it is.
That's so true. That's a good way to put it.
Or Christmas shoes is the Butterfly Kisses of Christmas
There you
songs.
go. But a lot of people did use What a Wonderful World
What a
as
Wonderful
their
World.
wedding song.
Randy Travis, Forever Never
Another one.
Amen. I
Yep.
think probably from about 1991, I think when it came out, to probably about 95 would have been every other song.
And if not the wedding song, guaranteed to be played at weddings. It is.
Or that was when
Yes.
the parents came on to dance.
Exactly,
you know, 'cause-
because
Oh my gosh.
people are familiar with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was another common one. There
Ed
was another
Sheeran's
one you
Thinking
said.
Out Loud for current songs, like over the last 5 years, might be the most common song of the late 20-teens,
I would
2017 to
say,
2020.
Yeah, between it and Perfect, because they were both
Right.
mentioned
Yep.
several times
With
on our
Shania
Facebook page.
Twain's From This Moment.
From This Moment, from Josephine. She said that one, and we actually came within 2 years of it. We said her wedding was in 2000. It was actually in 98. And
They were
when she
chomping at the bit to
corrected
get
us,
married, weren't they?
when she corrected us, she actually said they celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary
Oh,
just last week.
That's so nice.
So yeah, that
Thank
was
you for
kind of
sharing
that was
that.
a nice story. Yep.
But your wedding song, which showed up on a number of other lists.
It was mentioned a few
Alison
times,
Krauss
yep.
is When You Say Nothing at All.
It's a beautiful song. Sarah and
great
Linda
song.
both had them as well. We guessed Linda's. We thought it was in 95. Linda was actually in 92. So she used it, Sarah used it, and then we stole it for 2009 for our song.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good
it's a beautiful
for
song. Love
you.
it. Unfortunately, I didn't see your song on there, though.
No,
Mark. I'm
nobody
sorry.
wants any of my schmaltz. And it's too bad because they're fabulous. And I think what it is I'm the only one that really takes this stuff seriously.
Oh, yes, because Mark didn't have just one wedding song.
I had 3.
Mark had 3.
Because my wife...
Because it's Mark.
all over me. Not just one song. She wants to hold me for 3. That's what I think it is. So on
I'll
Wings
ask
of
Kathy
Love,
that.
Yeah. And she'll say, he said what on the podcast? Yeah, notice what will happen today when the podcast is aired later. You said what on the podcast?
What did you say?
Man in Trouble said what?
I don't think I picked any of those songs, Mark.
Yeah. Chicago, you're the inspiration. And that
Chicago
song,
was mentioned quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not just that one.
Yeah.
But, what was the
Color
other
My
one?
World.
Color My World.
was enormous.
And I want to say there was another one. But Chicago was mentioned quite a bit.
Hard to say I'm sorry.
See, that would maybe be more on the inappropriate side, which is
Yeah.
where we went with it today. But
And then Anne Murray is Now and Forever. So it's funny
Yes.
that Could I Have This Dance is the most popular wedding song of Anne Murray's career. But Now and Forever from 1986, because we got married in 87. So that's where kind of all those songs came in.
that's not the one we got right, though.
But you know what? We should at least take note of the sheer volume that when we ask people, hey, what was your wedding song? People get interested in that stuff.
Much like childbirth, I think people enjoy sharing that story.
Yeah.
They enjoy sharing their
Is it-
wedding story.
Right.
And when you start talking about that and comparing, like even what went wrong on your wedding day, I think people just like to share details because it's such a big moment, right? Such
Yeah.
a monumental day, and we can joke about how much, not really because it's insane, how much it costs and
Which prompted this whole discussion.
exactly
Yeah.
how much we put into it. At the end of the day, it's one of those things that it's a monumental day within everybody's life. That it's changing of the chapters. It's just a beautiful day. So I think people just want to share it when asked.
Well, we'll have to do that one next week then. Tell us the thing that went wrong. Because nobody wants it to. And you know
You mean
what?
the hiccups? The
Yeah, the
hiccups.
hiccups.
Because
Because
you're guaranteed something will.
Yeah. If you're getting married on Saturday, not this Saturday, but I mean on a Saturday, on
Yeah.
Thursday, you can't conceive of anything that you would find enjoyable or funny that would go wrong. A couple of years down the road, you can laugh about it.
Yes.
And I guess those are the ones we want to find. So, for example, like we got married in 87, so it wasn't as large and elaborate as weddings are now. For us, it would seem elaborate. We had the Legion Hall. No, it was a UAW hall in Brantford. And so we had to look after our own bar, hire a bartender. So we had to go to the liquor store to buy the liquor. So that morning, my brother-in-law, a couple of the guys in the wedding party, and myself go. And I show up later. I think I had to open something up. So I get there, and my brother-in-law, Marty, had said to the guys, okay, we're going to tell them that the order he made, they forgot, and there's no booze. So they just told me that, and that's what they're going to tell me in the parking lot. So I get there. Marty's like, you're not going to believe this, but that call that you put in, They lost it. They don't have anything ready. They don't have any of the stuff. And I went, oh, okay. Well, there's a liquor store down in Other Road. I know. I'll try and go get it there. And he's like, are you kidding me?
So he tried to cause a
He
hiccup?
tried. Didn't even bother me.
Oh, my
He was
God.
like, oh, yeah, just way too complicated. Why? I had nothing to do but show
Mark,
up
that's
on
not
time.
a hiccup.
I know. They tried.
Did really nothing else happen?
Oh, well, let me think. No, I
Because
don't
there's
know.
always a hiccup.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We had a bad speech.
It rained a little bit for the pictures.
That to me, well,
Yeah.
I don't know if that, well, I guess it depends. For some, that could be a hiccup. Because
Yeah.
it was so friggin' cold on our day. It didn't rain till our reception started, so we looked out that way.
Right.
But we had a speech.
You had a bad
at ours.
speech. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I, to the point where I went to our videographer afterwards and I said, I never want to see that again. I don't want to hear it ever again. It is to
Oh.
be cut.
Wow.
I don't want any memory of it.
Wow.
Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, it was just a moment and we
Right.
moved on.
It's gone.
But you need to go, and I say this to anyone who is getting married, whether I know them or not, expect a hiccup.
Sure.
Something's going to happen, but
Mm-hmm.
only you are going to know about it. Nobody else is going to know. Nobody else is going to care.
Yeah.
So just as long as you
Yeah.
go in knowing that, then
As long
You'll be
as
fine.
when you go to sleep that night, you're more married than you were in the morning.
Yes.
It worked.
yep.
I mean, short of, food poisoning for the crowd or whatever. Yeah. Just do the best you can.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Sure,
So,
we can get into that.
Yeah.
We can do that maybe next week.
people
Because
love
right
those
now,
stories too.
we have up on our Facebook page as we mentioned yesterday, we did it. We're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
The inappropriate songs. Now that
Right.
you've told us your wedding song, what has been maybe a questionable, maybe offside?
Because people are always interested. Okay, now.
Yeah. What's your wedding song going to be?
So here it comes, and you try to guess, and you know, and then it's like.
What?
Because we had Barb phone in as we brought it up on the air and put it up on Facebook. And she said, okay, here's one for you. Our wedding song is Unchained Melody by Righteous Brothers. Well, I'm going to assume it was on a CD back when they got married.
Yes, she said that.
And they queued up the first song on the CD, not the second, which was Unchained Melody. And the first song is You've Lost That Loving Feeling. And she's stomping her feet and throwing a fit on the dance floor until the DJ figures out, not that one. You've lost that loving feeling.
Dumbass, we're at a wedding. Like, come on. Sorry. We have gotten a couple of responses. It doesn't, and I think maybe it just needs to generate a bit of
people are a little
buzz.
bit shyer about this.
But Christine did write in Divorce by Tammy Wynette. Jackie said another one bites the dust. And of course, the story I like to tell, I don't even know whose wedding it was now. It clearly was not someone close to us.
Yeah.
But we had been invited to the reception. And as we're walking in, they're having their first dance. And it's to Hinder's Lips of an Angel. Which was very popular at the time, I remember. But I'm like literally stopping and looking at Wayne and thinking, is this really? No. We must have missed the first dance, and looking and seeing them on the dance floor themselves, the couple, and going, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Do they know what this song's about? And really, this is your wedding song. Okay.
He's cheating on her with somebody else in the song.
Maybe she's the one that he was hoping for.
Okay.
I don't know.
Odd way to tell the story.
A little awkward, but teach their own. But again, those moments where you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
So share those. I know we don't have nearly as many of those as your own wedding, but if you have some, get those in.
Oh, I'd love to hear them.
Start thinking about some of that.
Are we going to have a montage again tomorrow of the awkward songs?
Yeah, let's totally have. Let's totally have that. You got to send it. I'll come in early.
All right.
You
I'll
send
send
it
them
to me.
you.
We'll put those together. And also this morning, Charity did a wonderful job of doing science this morning, which I enjoyed.
Are we doing
so much.
science again?
I want to spend some time with those 5 ways to make somebody immediately fall in love with you. Because I really thought it would involve beer.
This is science, Mark.
Science. Because here's what I want to say. Here's what I want to say about it. Is when I heard it, it was like, these are the 5 signs for everything. If you want to do better at work, if you want to become a more confident person. So in other words, are there things that I can do which will point me in a better direction? And these are the 5 things, I really think. So it doesn't surprise me that they say, if you just find that, you're amongst peers and there's always one guy or one girl who always seems to do better with the opposite sex than me. It's not always or even often looks. It is the way you act and treat the other people.
And not beer.
Beer helps at 1 in the morning.
Beer can kind of help maybe cut the ice or like kind of inhibitions, lighten them a bit. But these 5 things, you're right. Now that you say that, that's a very interesting and valid point that all 5 things could be used in many different ways to lead to further success and confidence. So
there's that line that, 20 years from now, nobody will remember what you said, but they will remember how they made you feel.
And all 5 of them play into that for sure. Starting with the maintaining eye contact.
Yeah.
And I learned that a while ago. I think it was out of college. When you start going for interviews, that's one of the things they tell you. Maintain eye contact.
Yeah.
If you start to dart around. And I find now when people don't look me in the eye, I am less confident in them.
Why are they distracted?
Exactly. It's like,
my attention,
hello?
full attention.
If you're talking to me, talk to me. Don't. If you're looking over here,
looking at your phone,
means I don't have to listen to you, which is the next thing, because that's key. Along with eye contact, they say listen, actively listen to the person speaking to you. So, which is a lot easier to do when you're looking at them as opposed to gazing around. Validation. So that acknowledgement that you're paying attention and you're listening to them. Smiling. again, yes. If you smile, it puts people at ease when you smile. It makes you feel good to smile. So, yeah. And lastly, touching. And when I say touching, you don't need to make it weird.
Nah, weird's not bad.
But I find, and maybe it comes with age and being more comfortable with myself, but I do that more. If I'm talking with someone, like genuinely talking, I find more and more I do. Like, and when I say touching again, G-rated, but like their arm or their hand.
Yeah.
Or if it's funny, I'll reach out and touch their shoulder and kind of chuckle with them.
Yeah.
And there is that comfort and that familiarity that you then show with them too. So those are the 5 things that science says will help make someone fall in love with you. But you're right, that could help you with everything.
Right. I mean, if there are deal breakers, if you're going for job interviews and everybody is
Don't
just
touch
as
the boss.
qualified. No.
Don't touch the boss.
If everybody is as qualified as everybody else, perhaps it's the one that just smiles the most, pays attention, looks, doesn't seem distracted.
Yep.
You're saying something, they validate it back by saying, I understand why that's important in your company because it's like, okay, they're listening, they're very friendly to talk to, and...
Yeah.
Okay, and I hope to say, and then the touching can be good, firm handshake.
Yeah.
Or, excellent chat. Look them in the eye when they say that. And it's
Absolutely.
like, I think I'd like to have this person in the hallways every day, as opposed to somebody who's distracted or nervous or whatever. Yeah. So, science, everybody.
Yeah, we don't have the zinger.
We don't have the zinger for that
Because then
one.
we get in trouble.
Yeah.
But that was just one of a couple of stories. The other being, and I found this so funny, and it made me think of my kids, because science has also proven that boys are more talkative than girls in the first year. In their first year, you may be thinking, well, they don't talk in their first year. They do. They babble and they
don't talk
mimic.
after they're 12, but
but that first year, try to shut them up.
Yeah.
And apparently, boys are more talkative than girls. And I read that and I thought, yeah, because both my boys were. That being said, I'm talkative and their dad is very engaging too. So I would talk to them. I would sit there and talk away to them, and whether it was actual words or not, they would talk back to me. Now, girls, again, much like we do, ladies, we tend to sit back and observe too and take it in. And I think that's why they're quieter during the first year. It's like they're getting the lay of the land, and then boom, because after 1 year they do overtake boys for talking.
So
but I thought that was kind of neat. That's
the
interesting.
first year, everything's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They don't need to say anything. And boys are like, we're going to change things around here now that I'm here. Blah, blah,
Just
blah,
setting
blah,
the tone here for
blah,
everything.
Blah,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. And girls are like,
Yeah.
when you're 1, I'm going to take over. And
You can have your moment now, boys. Just wait.
Because for the rest of my life, I'm running this.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So that was kind of cool too. I enjoyed that one. It was fun.
Jimmy Hollywood has new movies out. You're going to go out and see the Spider-Man?
We will eventually, not this weekend.
Not this weekend.
We have plans to see Guardians of the Galaxy finally.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It is in our little town theater, so we will go and check that out tomorrow night.
Enjoy that. Tomorrow we'll have Roomba Day with Jimmy Hollywood in. We got your dad joke of the week on the way, and then setting up an amazing Quinte area weekend. We got a lot going on.
Lots.
Alex, as we mentioned on the show tomorrow from Shannonville Park to get you ready for all the racing's going on there, and various other guests, and lots happening. It's the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Join us tomorrow morning at 95.5 Hits FM.